গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর, হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে ববে নীরা। পুলক শরীর, হরি হরি বলিতে আর কবে নিতাই চাঁদের করুণা হইবে, সংসার বাসনা মোরা তবে তুচ্ছ হবে। নিশায়া ছাড়িয়া খাবে, শুদ্ধ হবে মানা, কবে হাম হেরিব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন। বিষায়া ছাড়িয়া রূপ রঘুনাথ পাদে হইবে আকুতি, কবে হাম ভোজাব সে যুগল প্রীতি। রূপ রূপ রঘুনাথ পাদে রহু মোর আশা, প্রার্থনা করো এ সদা নরোত্তম দাস। রূপ গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর, হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে ববে নীরা। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा पुरी धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, श्री तिरुपति धाम की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भक्ति देवी की, श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव अष्ट सखी वृंद की। श्री श्री गौर निताय की। शिल प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक्स की। शिल प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। Welcome to our evening discussion on the topic of importance of and ways of reading Srila Prabhupada books effectively. So importance we will discuss maybe to great extent and a little bit ways of reading. In one line, how to read Srila Prabhupada books? By opening them. You should read hard books, not preferably soft copies in our laptops, mobiles. Only in unavoidable circumstances we may use soft books, but otherwise best is to use hard books, because books in scriptural language are called as grantha. Grantha means granthi, from knots. So pages after pages are put together and you put hole 1, 2, 3 holes and you put a thread in that and you put a knot, so that is granthi, knot, and that's how they are called grantha, holy books. These are not so ordinary books. Even latest binding models also, many of them have many pages and they have tied up with the thread, and then they paste it with some adhesive Fevicol kind of thing, and then on the top there is a cardboard kind of cover jacket. But the best way of reading Srila Prabhupada books is, in simple terms, always carry the book that you want to read. Like in my travels I don't carry hard copy, because it's difficult to carry so much. So I have Kindle, the machine, e-diary. So in that many books are there. Prabhupada books, Acharya's books, Prabhupada disciples books, Prabhupada grand disciples book. So am reading currently Mahabharata in my travels. Otherwise, there in Pune I was reading Garga Samhita. So we can read whatever. So we should carry our book, and whenever we get time, we should remember to open the book. And after opening, just read the book. And you keep reading the book, you will read the book effectively. Simple. So that is second part of the ways of reading Srila Prabhupada books effectively. But the first part, importance of reading Srila Prabhupada books, will little bit elaborate. And see how it is. So it's very, very important because we are all literates. Literate means we should be reading. So many times I say that हम सब पढ़े लिखे लोग पढ़ना लिखना ही भूल गए हैं. We don't read from the books. We have soft copies, and likhna, writing, is converted, transformed into typing. Whether like this you type or like this you type. But writing we hardly do. We don't use pen so much as fingers. But still, because we are literate, we should read and write. Karthal can be kept aside. So once His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj, who is no more, he left his body some years back. In Rajkot he built temple for ISKCON. He was asked by one brahmachari that, Maharaj, sometimes I feel lusty. You get married, Maharaj said. He was shocked. He did not want to marry. No, not Maharaj, not all the time, sometime. I told you get married. No, not Maharaj, sometimes, once in a while. I told you get married. Get married to Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So what Maharaj meant is, like wife is always with the husband, chaste wife. So thus we are the chaste wives of Krishna, and Krishna has appeared in Kali Yuga in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishne swadham upagate dharmadhyanaadhibhisaha kalau nashtadrushamesha puranarko adhunoditaha. Krishne swadham upagate. When Krishna went for his abode, swadham, his own abode, to Golok Vrindavan, dharma jnana adhibhisaha, along with dharma, the religion, jnana, the knowledge, adhibhi, all the good things went away with Krishna. Kalau nashtadrushamesha. Then all the population of Kali Yuga, which began immediately after Krishna's departure, they were drowned in darkest of ignorance. Kalo nashtadrusham, their eyesight was lost. Because all darkness everywhere. Kali Yuga means Kalha Yuga, age of quarrel and hypocrisy, age of ignorance, age of all bad things. So Kalo nashtadrushamesha purano arko adhunodita. Adhuna udita. Now it has again arisen. What? Purana, the brilliant sun in the form of Puran, Bhagavad Puran, Amal Puran, spotless Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, Puran Arka. I told yesterday, sun has 12 names. So Om Rom Arkaya Namah, 11th mantra, and then Om Rah Bhaskaraya Namah, 12th mantra. So Arka is one name of sun. So Puran Arko Adhunadita. So one should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should get married to Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very important. So in Gaurang Sabha classes for 2-3 years they gave me the topic, every brahmachari must get married. Like that. When I first saw the topic, what is this topic? So then I thought about it. So then I prepared one seminar kind of thing. So in that, this is the first thing. This is something. The topic of this is that only. So one should get married to Krishna. Because Krishna is only husband. He is Yagyapati, he is Dhyampati, he is the husband of our intelligence also. He is Satvatampati, he is the husband of devotees. So we are all trying to be devotees. So he is our husband. He is Patimpati, Patimpati Nam. He is the husband of all husbands also. That's what gopis knew. So what are our husbands? Krishna is the husband of all husbands. So we will go to Supreme Husband. No need of other husbands. So thus, like chaste wife is always thinking of her husband, talking to her husband, executing his instructions. So like that, we should also be with Krishna. Krishna appears in 3 forms. One is in the form of holy name. Kalli Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagata Nistar. In Kali Yuga, Krishna has appeared in the form of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Nama haite haya sarva jagat nistar. Jai Radha Govind ji are more pleased with me, I think. Through you all we get mercy of Radha Govind ji. I don't know whether somebody gets 3 garlands of Govind every day here, but I am getting by their grace, by your grace. So Krishna has appeared in the form of holy name. Anybody who chants the holy name will be delivered from the repetition of birth and death. Nama haite hai sarva jagat nistar. Whole world will be delivered. Second is Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam that we just discussed. And third is in the form of deities. So everybody should get married to Krishna. Particularly brahmacharis must get married to Krishna. So either they should worship the deities in which all the body and all are engaged, or they should worship Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam by reading and speaking Bhagavatam through verbal service. We can render verbal service, or one can chant the holy name. That is mental service in one sense, because that controls the mind and that fixes the mind on Krishna, the holy name of the Lord. So thus we should be attached to Krishna, serving Krishna. So this is very, very important. In traditional life, the brahmacharis would be doing 3 activities mainly: chanting mantras. They would have thousands of slokas to memorize. They would study the scriptures and they would worship the deities. So thus, chanting mantras, we chant Hare Krishna mantra. Studying the scriptures, we read Prabhupada books. And worshipping, that means deities. So Krishna has appeared in 3 forms. Reading and attentive japa are extremely important, because reading is like hearing. It is hearing. Prabhupada books in particularly are hearing only when we read, because Prabhupada dictated his books in the dictaphone. He would say, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So that sound goes in the dictaphone and it is recorded. So whatever the cassette and all. And the devotees afterwards would hear and they would type it. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Typed. Then editing. Some mistake, something happened. So that edited. Then the book is formed and it is printed. Then editing is done, further editing. And then ultimately final printing. So thus Prabhupada books, when we are reading, we are hearing Prabhupada's voice only. Books like Perfect Question, Perfect Answers. You can get the tapes now also. Prabhupada is speaking with Bob Cohen because the conversation is recorded. Similarly, Prabhupada's conversation, room conversations and other conversations. Many of the books are formed by making these conversations into books. Or lectures are made into books. Thus, we are hearing Prabhupada's sound directly. In case we feel, no, I am not able to hear Prabhupada, here only I am hearing my voice only when I loudly chant, loudly read the book. So then you can directly get tape also of Prabhupada. So Adhyay in particular is very important for brahmacharis. So that is reading and hearing, hearing, reading is hearing, and chanting, Hare Krishna mantra chanting. So reading and hearing, reading and chanting, that means Shravanam and Kirtanam, these are the most important activities of the 9 process of devotional service. In Sanatana Goswami, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking to him, he says, Bhajanera madhe sarvasreshta navavida bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare maha shakti. Of all varieties of spiritual practices, you like devotees went today for Tirupati, Balaji Darshan. So, or you go to holy places, you take baths in holy rivers, you do some vrata, Chaturmas vrat, Kartik vrat, this vrat, that vrat. So all these varieties of spiritual practices, topmost among all these are the 9 processes of devotional service. And these 9 processes have 2 potencies. Krishna Prem, Krishna Dite Dhare Mahashakti. Very great power is there in these 9 processes. Any one you perform, any 2 you perform, any 3 you perform, any 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or all 9 you perform, like Ambarish Maharaj performed. So you will get 2 powers. Krishna Prem, you will get love for Krishna, and Krishna himself. Krishna Prem, Krishna Dite Dhare Mahashakti. Next he says, Taramadhe Sarvasreshta Nama Sankirtan Niraparadha Nama Laile Pabe Premadhan. In all 9 processes also, topmost is chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thus, chanting is the most important. But For chanting, we should have heard it. Then we can chant. Just like many of you know Telugu language, which I don't know. Telugu Radu. Hare Krishna Chappandi, Anandanga Undandi. And 10 Rupailu. 10 rupees. Book. Distribution. That's all. This is the end of my Telugu language. No fourth statement, no. Recently I kept hearing the word Tarvata. I think afterwards, no? Then Tarvata. Like, and then Vakati, Randu, Moodu, Aidu, then end. So that's it. So because those who are from Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, so they have been hearing it from childhood, they know fluently speaking in Telugu language. Now if I start speaking Marathi, many may not understand. Many can't speak because we have learned from childhood Marathi, so it's easy. So anything you hear, that you speak. Those who heard Telugu language from birth, they have been able to speak Telugu. Those who have heard Marathi, they speak Marathi. Like that. We can learn also by hearing only. Though I have heard the children who are born deaf, they tend to become dumb in the sense they can't speak because they never heard a, e, o, a, b, c, d. Transcendental. Krishna is the supreme personality. They never heard it. So they like that only they keep speaking. They can't have any other because they have not heard only. They are deaf from birth. That's why Swadhyay is very important for us. His Holiness Satsrup Das Goswami Maharaj has written a book, Reading Reform Notebook. Just like Japa Reform Notebook, that Anadora is also there. But even if you don't read that book, no problem. You read Prabhupada books. Because he got realizations to write that book when he read Prabhupada books. He did not read any Reading Reform Notebook. When you read Prabhupada books, especially as was done by Srila Prabhupada disciple, for years together, along with chanting, morning program, serving Vaishnavas, and compassionate activities of distribution of books, prasad distribution, etc. Then Krishna will give realizations, and you can note down your realizations in the form of a book, and whatever is the theme of that book, that can be the name of the book. So you will also be able to write books. Every sannyasi before death, he has to write few books at least. It's a compulsory, mandatory, because he will die. So after his death, how will he preach? He can preach through his books. Thus, it's compulsory for sannyasis to write at least few books. So they have written many books, Prabhupada disciples, but we should read Prabhupada books first. Prabhupada said, all must read all my books. Repeat, all must read all my books. So all the books of Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, perfect question, perfect answers, on the way to Krishna, matchless gift, elevation to Krishna consciousness, teachings of transcendental teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, teachings of Queen Kunti, teachings of Lord Kapila, whatever the books. So all those books must be read by whom? All of us, not us, all of us. It's all devotees in ISKCON must read all the books of Srila Prabhupada at least once, if possible 3 times in life, and best is 7 times in life. 7 जन्म यही पति मिले मुझे. तो प्रभुपाद ही हमारे पति हैं, तो 7 जीवन नहीं लेने, तो इसी जीवन में 7 बार पढ़ लो. That will be best. Reading Prabhupada books is reciprocating with Srila Prabhupada's hard work of writing these books. For us, he sacrificed his nighttime sleep. For reading these books in reciprocation, we can sacrifice at least daytime rest, daytime sleep. For reading these books, we don't have to sacrifice night sleep. Don't get up at 1 o'clock to read these books. आपने रात का दिन कर दिया, तो हो सकता है दिन का रात कर दोगे. Daytime you will keep sleeping for 4-5 hours. Oh, I got up at 1 o'clock. 1 to 4, I read Prabhupada books, and I'm very tired, I'll take this. So no need to sacrifice night sleep, sacrifice day sleep and read these books. It's damn easy thing in life to read books, but it is so difficult to print a book. We have compiled some books. I have that Shloka Ratnavali. That is just a compilation, copy paste from Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. 100 important shlokas in level 1 and 100 important shlokas in level 2. My God, you have seen that pocket book, saffron color, blue color, on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. It took so much time. Level 2 of Bhagavad Gita, I think, took 7 months from the beginning till end. It is such a small book because so much of editing, so many things, takes long time. And And that book, if you read start to end, how much time it will take? Not even 7 hours are required. You can easily finish it in maybe 2 hours or 3 hours max. That's it. Printing took 7, and that is just a compilation. It's not my thoughts, as it is copy paste. So book printing is very difficult. You have to write it or type it and then edit it and print it and see how it is layouting, cover page, introduction, preface, price, how much should be the price of the book, how much is the expenditure. It's very, very big, laborious task. In comparison, reading books, we don't even have to purchase books. Many times it is available in our library. Just take it. When I was in second year of engineering, I was only librarian for our youth center. I would only take the book, write on my name, perfect question, perfect answer, Sundarshyam Das, date, like this. And then after 24 hours, I would finish that book. I would submit it, done, submitted. Next book I would take, Laws of Nature, write my name, Sundarshyam Das. And after 24 hours, read. Like that, one day, one book. Small books are very easy. So thus, it's very important that we read, because that is a reciprocation with Prabhupada's books. This is called as Acharyopasanam, worship of an Acharya. Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, Samsthapak Acharya. So we worship him in Bhagavad Vidhi by reading his books. In Pancharatriki Vidhi, we worship him every morning after Shringara Darshan. In every ISKCON temple, there is worship of Prabhupada, Guru Puja. So that is Pancharatriki Vidhi. That is okay. That should be done. But more important is Bhagavad Vidhi. That puja, whole Guru Vandana, whole thing goes for 15-20 minutes in any ISKCON temple. And in that actual worship, agar conch blowing and agarbatti and all that, that takes hardly 5-7 minutes. That's it. It's very fast. But Prabhupada books, Prabhupada expects us to read every day 1 to 2 hours. So you can imagine, his Acharyopasana through Bhagavad Vidhi is more important for him. That's why he has told us to read his books for 1 to 2 hours. And as in Japan, as I said, Prabhupada said, you should read my books 24 hours a day. I do that. Twice he says that. How much we should read Prabhupada books? 24 hours. In not 100 days. In how many days? In 1 day. 1 day you read Prabhupada books, 24 hours. Then for remaining part of the day, you can do any damn thing in life. Okay? And next day begins, again read Prabhupada books for 24 hours of that day. And then you can do any damn thing in life till the day gets over. And next day you get up. I don't know whether you will get up because you can't sleep only. You can't eat also. Can't pass water, can't pass stool. Nothing is allowed. Only keep reading Prabhupada books. This only is food. This is only end all and be all. Vasudeva sarvamiti samatma sudurlabha. Bahunam janmanam ante. Bahunam janmanam. Bahunam ISKCON Janmanam Ante. After taking many births in ISKCON, then I will read Srila Prabhupada books 24 hours, knowing that Prabhupada books are not different from Krishna. So Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Prabhupada books are end all and be all. I don't have to do anything, including passing water, drinking water, eating, sleeping. Nothing. So Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada's followers served him so dedicated, in such a dedicated way. So thus we should also be dedicated to Srila Prabhupada, especially by reading his books. Srila Prabhupada said, read my books seriously every day without fail for 1 to 2 hours. You can repeat after me. Read my books seriously every day without fail for 1 to 2 hours. See how much stress. That will lead to absorption in Srimad Bhagavatam, and that will lead to advancement. That's the formula for advancement. So why to read Srila Prabhupada books? Just like wife without husband will only be eating, sleeping, and she will fall down from her exalted position of being wife to that husband. So likewise, if we don't read Srila Prabhupada books, we'll be only eating, sleeping, and will fall down. Prabhupada said this Haribol will not go on for a long time. You have to know why it is Haribol. Otherwise, it will become horrible. So one has to know why to do, why we do, what we do. In Sankalpa Camp, I think we have one session. Why we do, what we do. Why do we worship the deities? Why we have agarbatti? Why? It is earth element offered to the Lord. We have ghee lamp. Through that, fire element is offered. We have vision, through that air is offered. Then sound is offered through conch shell in the beginning and at the end. And what remained? Water through argyam, scented water. And then mind intelligence false ego. Mind because it is focused. 4, 2, 3, 7. So mind is focused. Intelligence, daytime the pujari has to read Prabhupada books, scriptures, Gita, Bhagavad, etc. And false ego, pujari at the beginning of the arti, at the end of the arti, he prostrates himself, Ashtanga, Dandavat Pranam. Thus, all the 8 elements are offered. So this should be very scientifically understood, scientifically presented by Acharyas. So it is our responsibility to reciprocate with Acharyas' hard work by at least opening the books and reading them. Also Prabhupada quotes several times in his books, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harir Bhakti Utpataye Eva Kalpate. If our devotional practice is not based on Shruti, Smriti, Puran, Adi, or Pancharatriki Vidhim Vina, without that, then Aikantiki Harir Bhakti, the one who performs practice like this, Utpatayaiva Kalpate, it will produce only Utpat, destruction, total destruction, disturbance, commotion. That's why we see so many devotees are fighting and offenses to each other. Why? Because they don't read Prabhupada books. You ask them some question based on Prabhupada books, they're blank. That we don't know. But we know we are always engaged in Prabhupada's mission. How we are engaged? We fight with each other. I keep other devotees also engaged. I blast at him, he blasts at me, and I blast back. And we are always engaged, 24 hours. Kirtan goes on. So that is not how it is. Without eating, our health will go down. So this is food for soul. Just like we have prasadam, food for body, which nourishes our body. But if we don't give food for the soul will die. Soul will die, soul never dies, but Atmaha, Saeva Atmaha, it is said. One who is called as a killer of the soul. Killer of the soul means what? We are not allowing our devotional progress. Why? Because we are not feeding the soul. You know that story of old woman having parrot. She painted the cage for 3 days. In the process forgot to feed the parrot. What happened after 3 days? Parrot died. So like that we are only taking care of eating, sleeping, all that stuff. There are slogans like first dress, then address. When you are giving one-time program or anything, first you should dress properly. Then you should address. But have you read Prabhupada books? What will you address? Okay, you dressed very nicely. And then addressing, मेरे प्रिय भगिनों, भाई और बहनों. ये किसने बोला आपको? और आगे कुछ बोलो. Sometimes devotee is walking on the road and somebody says Hare Krishna. He is not even saying Hare Krishna back. That new person is reminding devotee that Hare Krishna. He is more Krishna conscious than we do. And we are lost in our thought. And the thought processing is broken. क्या बोला? What? Hare Krishna? Okay. Again devotee is submerged in his thought processing. So we should not be foolish followers. We should be perfect followers. The reading Prabhupada books will fix us in Krishna consciousness. We are discussing ISKCON. That is ISKCON. ISKCON. Ishq should be on. Our love for Krishna should be on. Is Krishna consciousness on? Is IS Krishna consciousness KCON on? Is Krishna consciousness on? नहीं तो इस कान से उस कान बीच में नहीं रहेगी मुस्कान. So one should not be foolish like that. वो हंसता ही नहीं. He is miserable, most miserable devotee. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. He never chants. 27,648 holy names never come out from him. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But very expertly we move the finger to them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is uninterrupted. Only Hare Krishna Mahamantra is interrupted with the mouth, but this is going on. And after 2 hours, 16 rounds are on. Once one devotee was sitting in our circle for chanting. I was chanting and he was sleeping like anything. 1 hour I tolerated. Then because it was beyond my tolerance level. So my round got over, then I shook him. practice this. How many rounds are over? Then he said 1 hour, 8 rounds are over. I said, come on, I am chanting for 1 hour, my 8 rounds are over, and you are nicely taking rest, and you are also 8 rounds. he was very cool. So 1 hour is over, 8 rounds are over. All glories to you. So we'll fall down. We fall down during chanting only. So we have to be very fixed up devotees. Then we'll be spiritually very strong, we'll be convinced and free from doubts. There should not be any doubts. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna addresses doubts as demons. Madhusudana. Sudan means the enemy of Madhu demon. Krishna killed one demon called Madhu. So why is Arjuna asking? Just like that, some change. Like that, Arjuna is not using different names of Krishna. Basically, this is my doubt. Chitta arhasi. You are samshayasya arhasi. You are capable of driving away this doubt or destroying this doubt. Oh Madhusudana, please destroy my doubt. This is my doubt. That I practice any yoga practice, and then suddenly I die without reaching perfection. Then what will happen? I will be like na ghar ka na ghat ka. I will be like a riven cloud. Huge cloud is going, and because of wind or whatever, small cloud comes out of that wind, and because of the heavy wind, it is lost in oblivion. Will I be like that? Na ghar ka na ghat ka. I gave up material life, could not enjoy that, and I tried to practice spiritual life. There also I did not reach perfection. So neither did I enjoy material life, nor did I enjoy spiritual life. I was lost. Will it be like that? No, Krishna says no. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. That my dear child, anybody who does good to others, he will never meet with destruction. Durgati. Bad destination will never be his. Only good destination or best destination will be for him. Also, we should read Prabhupada's books to always remember Krishna. Prabhupada said, I have written these books to inspire all the people in the world to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In one small book, Prabhupada says the best way to remember Krishna is to chant Hare Krishna. If I say Radheshyam Prabhu, what comes in your mind? Radheshyam Prabhu. If I say Gaurang Prabhu, what comes in the mind? Gaurang Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada, what comes in the mind? Srila Prabhupada. So if I say Hare Krishna, what comes in the mind? Radharani and Krishna. You may remember Radha Govindev, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Madhav, Radha Gopinath, any deity of your liking, but basically Radha Krishna, isn't it? Prabhupada in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 8th verse, purport he says, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the chanter. So not only you should remember Radha Krishna when you are chanting, you should know that Radha and Krishna are dancing. You say Hare, Radharani's takes a jump. Haribo on your tongue. And you say Krishna, Krishna jumps. Haribo. So 8 times Radharani jumps, 8 times Krishna jumps. Whether Krishna or Ram you say, basically same person, Krishna only. And in 27,648 holy names, when you chant through 16 rounds, 13,000 plus times Radharani jumps high. किसकी माँ है जो इतनी छलांग लगाएगी? है किसी की माँ? और किसका बाप है जो इतना छलांग लगाएगा? Only Radha and Krishna can jump so much. On our tongue only they jump. Free show for you for 2 hours. No need to go to any theatre. Fully AC. AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Facilitated by AC Bhaktivedanta. So AC only. So we should read to always remember Krishna. I have seen days when I read Srila Prabhupada's books for several hours. 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, sometimes 7, 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours. So if you read like that daily, let's say 5, 6 hours you read daily, and tell me after 5, 6 days what is the quality of your chanting. My God, you will not be on earth. You will be floating in the sky only. High class japa. Because so much Krishna, 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 Krishna goes inside. So then you will not be just chanting, you will be shooting. So super high class japa. And if we don't read Srila Prabhupada's books, we lose taste and we'll become sentimental. Prabhu, you did not look at me that day. Which day? That day. Which day? 5 days back. Which day? I don't remember. But you did not look at me. My goal in life is not to look at you. तेरा मुखड़ा चांद के तरफ टुकड़ा नहीं है जो मैं तुझे देखता रहूं. My goal in life, I never took initiation vows. I will keep seeing the moon-like face or lotus-like face of this devotee. Like that. Devotee so much become sentimental. Craziness. One is physical platform on which only eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Of which two are gone. Mating, defending, not allowed for brahmacharis and boys. So then what remains? Only eating and sleeping. You cannot eat 24 hours. You cannot sleep 24 hours. So 6 hours of sleep, around 2 hours of eating or less, but still 8 hours. So what will I do 16 hours? I will arrange sentimental thing. He did not speak to me. My spiritual master did not embrace me. He has not taken vow. But throughout life I will keep embracing my disciples. Otherwise he will never do any bhakti. He will keep embracing only. He will die within the embrace of his disciple. That is not what life is all about. But we become sentimental. We will understand from different angles and points of views if we read Srila Prabhupada books. In anywhere, anything you see in life, you will be able to see through scriptural eyes. Like any building you see, people will be mesmerized. Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower. I will fall from the tower. Eiffel Tower. Many fell from that tower. By seeing the tower, they fell down. So it is Eiffel Tower. Like that. So when you see Eiffel Tower, Bhumirapo na lovayo kammano buddhire vacha ahankara iti yamme binna prakriti rashtada. This is the stool of material energy. This is separated energy of Krishna. Like one beautiful girl once was interviewing Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was telling how this material world is not so nice. Prabhupada said, you may be beautiful, but your stool is not beautiful. And she was shocked. My God, Swami is talking about my stool. Nobody in life, in her whole life, nobody talked about her stool. Prabhupada is the first one. Prabhupada said, yeah, she was beautiful, no doubt. So Prabhupada said, you may be beautiful, but your stool is not beautiful. So like that, this material energy is a separated energy. Stool is your separated energy. So it is not so beautiful like you. So like that, this material energy is a separated energy of the Lord. So not such a good place for gentlemen. It's like a toilet. One should finish his business quickly and get out. She was shocked. In whole life, in the wildest of her dreams, she never heard such things. Once in London or somewhere, one scantily dressed reporter she was interviewing Prabhupada. No, Swamiji, why do you shave your head? Prabhupada immediately said, why do you shave your legs? She was having skirt only up to this much. Some part of thighs, knees, and calves, everything was visible. Immediately, why do you shave your leg? And she was like, she was dumbfounded. Then Prabhupada said to have a cool head. He said, better to have cool head and warm legs. When you cover your legs, legs are warm. When you expose your legs, legs will become cool. So better to have cool head and warm legs. Once in some college program, one boy stood up, the university student. Swamiji, why do you have that ponytail on your head? Prabhupada immediately said, why do you have the ponytail around your neck? And he took his tie and he saw that ponytail around my neck. And he was shocked, he was dumbfounded. He could not answer only. Prabhupada spontaneously said, why do you have that ponytail around your neck? And he was having the tie in his hand only. Prabhupada sat down. Prabhupada said, sit down. He sat down. He was wondering, why do I have ponytail around my neck? Prabhupada was so witty, so powerful, amazing. So whenever you see around in life anything, you will be able to see through scriptures. You will never be bewildered. Without scriptures, if you see, it will be, Maya is very powerful in this world. It will be very charming. It sharpens our intelligence daily. Daily sharpening is required. In your childhood, how many of you, when you use cycle, you put that golden color thing in the rainy season? What is it called? On the steel structure. How many of you have done that? Have you done? You apply because daily polish it will get rusted, the steel structure, ring and all that, so rim, etc. So what we do polishing. Polishing means some kind of paint comes, chemical, you apply it all 4 seasons, how much ever rain falls on your cycle, iron parts will never corrode, they will never get rusted. I don't know what is it called, but something. So our sharpening of our pencil, I already know. So that is very important, sharpening the pencil to have very high sketch, good sketch. Books are the basis, Prabhupada said. 4 slogans of ISKCON. Purity is the force, books are the basis, utility is the principle, and preaching is the essence. So of that, books are the basis, it's a foundation. So foundation comes first, then the building, then walls, then plastering, then painting, and other things. The first and foremost is foundation. So thus we should read Prabhupada books daily, if possible 24 hours a day, if not at least 1 to 2 hours. These are Krishna's words. Srila Prabhupada enjoyed listening from them. Prabhupada is, so to say, the writer of the books, and he enjoyed the books. There is no writer in creation who enjoys reading his own book. They never read. I told him, I compiled these books. I never read even once. Because what happens, of your existence, only small part, if it is some technical book, some of your intelligence is gone in that. If it is a poetic book, your imaginative power, some part of it is gone in that poetry book, like that. But yourself is 100%, some percentage of yours, 1%, 2%, 5, 10, 15% is gone in that book. You understand? So you are not interested in that, because you are 100% all the time having. So why will you read your book? No author reads his book. If at all there is a lot of mistakes over there, then they read that book for editing, so that next printing will lead to lot of sale and he'll earn money. Otherwise he never reads his book. No author will read his book. But very surprisingly, Prabhupada took pleasure in reading his own books. He would tell disciples, read now from Krishna. You know, on Janmashtami night, devotees had to be fasting for whole day, evening, night, and 12 o'clock there was Aarti, and 12:30 it ended. Jai Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Everyone was very happy. Now we can break our fast. And Prabhupada said that time, after Ashtang Pranam, Prem Dhwani was done, Prabhupada said, so now Krishna has appeared. So why not read from Krishna book? Everybody said, Hari Bo! Like that. And then one devotee brought the book, he started reading first chapter, the Advent of Lord Krishna. And then thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to first chapter of Krishna, the Supreme Personality, the Advent of Saint. And everybody said, Hari Bol! Prabhupada with closed eyes he was hearing. Said, next chapter. Okay, second chapter. That was read. Thus ends the second chapter. Everybody said, Hari Bol! Prabhupada with closed eyes, next chapter. And slowly as the chapters went, Hari Bol was reduced. Hari Bol. And the sannyasis with their danda, they were feeling very drowsy, tired, They were going down, they were hitting each other also. Like that. And like that, I heard some 8 chapters were over. And Hari Bol. So hardly any sound was coming. After 8 chapters, Prabhupada opened his eyes as the commander-in-chief of Lord Chaitanya's army, looked at the entire army, everybody was dead. Except the person who was reading, somehow he was reading. He was holding the book like that. Then Prabhupada looked at all the devotees and said, okay, devotees have been fasting for whole day. Maybe it is time for prasadam. So now we can go for prasadam. Everybody said, Hari Bol! Srila Prabhupada ki! Thank you, Prabhupada. We are not pure like you, and we are conditioned soul. Jina to kya jina? Prasadam ki bina. So Prabhupada relished his own books. So if the writer relishes so much, how much more we should be relishing? Prabhupada said this is ambrosial nectar. Instructions of predecessors. Prabhupada's unique quality is he has quoted so many acharyas in his books. You will find quotes of Jiva Goswami, Sridhar Swami, the first commentator on Bhagavatam, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisnath Thakur's commentary, then Baldev Vidyabhushan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and what is that? Viraragava Acharya, Bilangal Thakur, yes, Bilangal Thakur, plus Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. Who all he has not quoted? Amazing. It's a galaxy of our acharyas, and they all appear in these books. How fortunate we are. We don't have to read separately the books of all these acharyas. Just read Prabhupada books. Everything is accomplished through Prabhupada books only. These are Srila Prabhupada's personal instructions. Many of us hanker, oh, how nice it would have been if I was there during Prabhupada's time. I would have attended the classes. I would have been his disciple. I would have got direct instruction of Prabhupada. I was unfortunate. I was born after him. So we are not unfortunate. We have Prabhupada's instructions, personal instructions to each one of us. I tell some once or twice in my Vyas Puja offerings to Prabhupada, I said that when Prabhupada left this world in November 1977, he was ill in Vrindavan, his headquarters. In his own quarters, he was bedridden, you all know, 27 days. So that time I was around 4 months old in my mother's womb. I was born in March 1978. So Prabhupada in November 1977. So I'm around 4 months old. So Prabhupada knew in the night he gets up at 1 o'clock and he knows Sundarshyam Das is sleeping in the womb of his mother. After 5 months he will be born. So that time I will not remain. So I have to give him this transcendental, my devotional ecstasy. Hopefully he will read my books in this life. So I will dictate for Sundarshyam Das. Like that. So Prabhupada was giving purports for me, who was sleeping peacefully in the womb of my mother. Maybe not sleeping peacefully, sleeping restlessly. Or I was restless, not able to sleep also. So Prabhupada has written these books for us. So we should be very feeling obliged, feeling grateful that he has done such a nice thing for me. I am meeting Prabhupada. Whenever you read Srila Prabhupada books, you are getting direct instructions. For 3-4 months of my life, I did a lot of deep contemplation thinking to find out what drives me mad to distribute Prabhupada books. Not that I have been a big book distributor, that means big scores and all, small score, but daily I would distribute books earlier. So I was wondering what is the reason, because GPCs, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, they have not instructed me personally, Sundarshyam Das, you should distribute books daily. No. Radheshyam Prabhu, the president, he never instructed me. The managers of the temple never instructed. So what is it? So 3-4 months it took to me, for me to think. After 3-4-5 months, then I understood I am reading too much of Prabhupada books. And Prabhupada said, I will never die. I will remain in 2 places, in my books and in the hearts of my sincere followers. So when I read Prabhupada books, I am directly associating with Prabhupada. And Prabhupada preached all over the world. 14 times he encircled in 12 years. He established 108 temples, initiated thousands of disciples, got lakhs of his books distributed, prasad distributed. So he, sitting in those books, he is driving the key of my life. And I become restless. I go out for distributing books. So it is because of only reading Srila Prabhupada books. This was my conclusion. So we are directly hearing Srila Prabhupada when we are reading his books. If you don't believe in me, try reading. Maybe you have vacation. Dedicate 1 week only for reading daily 5 to 10 hours. Because vacation, what is there? Nothing is there. Read and try. See for 7 days later what happens. It is powerful. You get directly instructions, personal instructions by Srila Prabhupada. It is specifically written for us. Yesterday I was telling that Mataji distributing book, or maybe today. And Prabhupada asked, changing, what is there in that book? She blurted out, she said something. Prabhupada lowered the glass of the window of that car. She bent down, paying obeisance to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, have you read these books? She said, no, Prabhupada. Then you are only blasting, or you are only blubbering. You are just only speaking something. You don't know what is there in this book. First, you should read these books. She said, yes, Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has written these books for us. It's a misconception to think that these books are for outsiders. No, they are for us. We are his followers. We should know what is there in the books. Prabhupada did not just wanted devotees to read his books, he wanted exams on these books. They should be taught in the form of courses, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhaum. Prabhupada gave these 4 books, 4 courses, and he told also some details that in Bhakti Shastri there should be 4 books thoroughly studied: Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Shri Shobnishad. And in Bhagavad, in Bhakti Vaibhav, first 6 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhakti Vedanta, later 6 cantos, 7 to 12th, and in Bhakti Sarvabhaum, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita should be studied. So Prabhupada gave outline, and years later devotees formulated these courses wonderfully. They started teaching in MIHE, Mayapur Institute of Higher Education, and VIHE, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. And eventually now these courses are taught. Now there is board of examinations, board of, I think BOE or something they call. So under that all these other institutes come, MIHE, VIHE. We also have in Pune, BVRV, in GV, Wada, they have a Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapit, BVVP I think. In Pune we have BVRV. And several other places they have, names are different. These are all under board of examinations, which is the top board. Under that all these institutes, temples, are authorized to conduct courses online, offline. They can keep on repeating these courses in regional language, Hindi, English, and batches after batches, batches after batches. Now in ISKCON it is compulsory. Just like for first initiation, this disciples course, ISKCON disciples course, IDC is compulsory. For second initiation, you should have Bhakti Shastri degree minimum, almost compulsory. You cannot get second initiation, Brahman initiation, without completing your Bhakti Shastri degree and having certificate. So Prabhupada wanted these courses. That means how much he wanted devotees to focus reading his books. Prabhupada said devotees should be, they are Brahmanas, Brahman initiated, they should be Pandits. When you go in society like this or something, yeah, the people, hey, Panditji, Panditji. Panditji means what? Panditji means? Panditji means what? Means educated person, very learned person. He is called as Pandit. So thus, we should be thorough in the books of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said for leaders to guide properly, they must read his books. If we don't become leaders by reading Prabhupada books, without reading Prabhupada books, we will be misleaders. We will not be teachers, we will be cheaters. That's why, if you want to be leader in ISKCON, you have to read Prabhupada books. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tattad evetaro jana sayat pramanam gurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever a great person does, common people follow. Whatever example he sets by his exemplary acts, other people do the similar. So thus it is duty of every leader to read himself first, and then he can teach to others. Next he said to become good preachers, become defenders than offenders. If we don't read Prabhupada books, we will become offenders. And if we read Prabhupada books daily, we will become defenders. We will defend philosophy, we will defend Prabhupada's ISKCON, we will defend the glory of devotional service, we will defend the glories of devotees. And if not, then we will be only offending devotees only. Morning I was telling you. So thus, it's very bad. All the negativity will overpower us if we don't read Prabhupada books daily. Nityam Bhagavata Seva Prabhupada has several times repeated. That's why here in this morning program, Srimad Bhagavatam class, at least one verse discussed in details by one speaker and everybody else hears. That will help. But that is in one sense only 1 hour. So we should do personal studies. When we put our endeavor, because in Bhagavatam class somebody else has prepared, he speaks and he is going on it. And sometimes many devotees sitting in the class only dozing. How many of you seen in Bhagavatam class devotees struggling to remain awake? Because they are not speakers. The one who is speaker, he can never sleep. They are having glorious devotees in the past. In New Vrindavan, one devotee sitting on Vyasasana giving class and saying, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. His finger went up like that. And he became silent. And all the devotees, what happened? Those who were sleeping, they got up. Kya? And they saw the speaker is still on Vyasasana and his hand is up. And they asked what happened. He said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. And then what you see? And 1 minute passed by. He was sleeping. Hand is up. And then, Maam Ekam Sharanam Braja. Krishna said in Bhagavad. And devotees were wondering, my God, how in 1 minute, when he slept, how he remembered that before that he had quoted Sarva Dharman Parityajya. How he could relate so well. It's very transcendental. So this kind of devotees also were there. But it is hard to sleep while giving class. But sitting and hearing the class, it becomes very difficult to remain awake. So much taste is not there. So much purity of heart is not there. will not be misled by deviant and concocted philosophies. If you read Prabhupada books daily, so many concoctions keep happening. Many people come up with deviant philosophies. The devotees give reasons why I am not able to read Prabhupada books, because difficult to read attentively. So take help of somebody else. Read with some other devotees. Then attention will be more. You preach what you read, then you will read attentively. As I said the other day, Prabhu, I'll tell you what I read today. 1 hour I read. What I read? It was small book, yeah, small. I think which one? Law of Nature, yeah. What I read? Nothing will come to mind because you have not read properly, attentively. So the next day when you tell devotee, that day you will read very nicely. Prabhu, I'll tell you what I read yesterday, and then you will tell. I read Laws of Nature book. There are 5 chapters. I read the 2nd and 3rd chapter, and this power was explained, and this was explained. And something will come out more. You understand? When you have to, like in exams, you are saying grasping power increases. How many of you observed? Before exam, when you study, my God, what you study before exam for 1 or 2 days, it is like 10 days also. If you study, it cannot be having such grasping, because you know whatever I read now, most of it will come in exam, and I have to write it there. If I don't remember, how will I write? So with that intention, when you read, it goes just like in summer season, the whole land is dried up, and in winter, rainy season, when it starts raining, the earth just takes water like so much, because it's dried up, burnt soil, surface of the soil is burnt, takes water. But then a prolonged rainfall, for 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, then there is saturation. Then you find the earth is not taking any more. So it's like on the top of it. So when you are thirsty, then the intensity is very high. Devotees give reason that the mind deals with the distracting thoughts. So we can remove distraction by making notes. Prabhupada said remembering means remembering to write down. How many of you observed, if you write down, you remember something? Retention is more. Yes. So you can make notes. And better to make notes with pen on notebook than typing. Because while typing you type A, B, C, D, whatever it is. But in writing, A is not, whatever you want, A, B, C, D. In typing is what? You have to just press like it. But in writing, what happens? A means like this, B means like this, C is like this, D is like this. So that, you understand? That extra thing, movement of the hands, etc. That will lead to more memory, retention, etc. Also, it will make our handwriting nice, better. Some say that it is too boring, I feel sleepy, too repetitive. So we should walk and read. His Holiness Radhanaswami Maharaj, in his brahmachari days, he wanted to read Prabhupada books, but there was no time. He was sleeping only 2 hours a day, and that also not in the night. Whole day services, 10 o'clock, he had to go on horse to the top of a mountain and sing there till 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock to 1:30, he will come on the horse in the midnight, come down to the temple, and then he will take bath by breaking the ice, taking the water from below, taking bath, 1:30 to 2, and then 2 to 3:30 he will chant 16 rounds. 3:30 onwards, waking up the deities and feeding them bhoga, and then some other cleaning, and then opening the altar, 4:30 Mangalati and all that. And daytime 6 offerings he only would do, 6 artis. So hardly any time. And 2 hours sleep, how would you cover? When the bhoga is offered to the Lord, 15 minutes you have to wait, 15 to 20 minutes. So he would sleep that time, sitting only he would sleep. And devotees asked, Prabhu Maharaj, did you have alarm clock to get up after 15 minutes? He said, no, we were so poor in Nirunda. Where is the question of alarm clock? Then Maharaj, how would you get up? He said, the pressure of service was so high, automatically after 15-20 minutes I would get up. Such high pressure. And like that 15-20 minutes in each offering, like that in a day 2 hours he would sleep. You understand? So he wanted to read proper books, but where is the time? So he was wondering what to do. Then he thought, I don't have to take breakfast every day. I will skip one meal. So that way I will get time, 15-20 minutes. I can read proper books. So he started skipping breakfast, and then he would, that time, breakfast time, he would go to Brahmachari Ashram, open the book, sit and open the book and start reading. After 10-15 minutes when he would get up, he would find his head is in the books. He slept. Then few days later he realized, "Arey, what is this? I'm skipping breakfast to read Prabhupada books, but I'm not reading, I'm sleeping." So hell with my situation. So he got up and started walking and reading Prabhupada books. See the sacrifice. Similarly, we have His Grace Sundarshyam Adhikari Prabhu, currently is there in NVCC. I think he's giving class also now. So he was in I don't know which temple, Austin or somewhere, some ISKCON temple as a brahmachari. He also wanted to hear Prabhupada's texts. Prabhupada was giving famous morning walks on Venice Beach. You might have been knowing. So after 4-5 days, the cassettes would come to his temple. He thought, wow, I am getting the lecture, morning walks of Prabhupada just very fresh. Just 3-4-5 days later in my temple. I want to hear all these steps. But where is the time? There is no time. So what to do? So he said, okay, I'll skip breakfast. He started skipping breakfast and he would hear Prabhupada texts, make notes. And making notes like that, some 4, 5, 6 diaries got filled up. You can imagine how many days he must have skipped his meal. So, yeah, so how much sacrifice they did. So there should be desire. One should not feel they are too boring and all that. They are very enlivening. The message is never boring. You might be heavily influenced by ignorance. That's why you feel Prabhupada book reading to be boring and chanting to be very drowsy. No, chanting, holy name is very pure, and Prabhupada book's message is also very pure. But because of our anarthas, we have these difficulties. As we keep reading Prabhupada books, Nashta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seva. By reading Prabhupada books, Grantha Bhagavad Seva only, our anarthas will reduce. And by the time Nishtha, only 25% anarthas will remain. 75 anarthas are out by the time you come to Nishtha stage. Only 25% remain. So it's very, very amazing that we keep reading Prabhupada books, we will be purified. Some devotees say there is no time. How many of you feel there is no time? We are not like Prabhupada. But okay, for you also, the best tip is control your tongue. You will get lot of time. Tongue has two functions, eating and speaking. So eat little less. As I said in the morning class, half the food that you eat nourishes you and half other food nourishes the doctor. He gets lot of money because you get disease by overeating. So eat slightly less, not too less, yuktahara viharasya. But we always overeat. So little less you eat. So time for eating will reduce, and after eating, when you are reading, you are sleeping. That time will not be there. That time will not be wasted. So you will get double advantage. You understand? And another function of the tongue is speaking. Don't speak. Put a cello tape or electric tape and write there. Not fit for speaking. Anybody comes, what happened, bro? He reads carefully. Don't put a tattoo there. Put a cello tape or something. Not fit for speaking. Because I have not read. God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So hear more, speak less. Thus, if you have not read Prabhupada books for 1 to 2 hours, don't speak to others. This strategy, if you follow, you will accomplish a lot. A lot. Understand? Another remedy I tell devotees that before every meal, read Prabhupada books for 20 to 30 minutes. How many of you take prasad 3 times a day? How many of you take 2 times a day? So those who take 2 times a day, they can read 30 minutes before one first meal, 30 minutes before second meal. 1 hour is done. Those who take 3 times, 20 minutes before breakfast, 20 minutes before lunch, 20 minutes before dinner. 20, 60 minutes, 1 hour reading of Prabhupada book is accomplished. Only it will be delayed by 20 minutes. We have long classes, prasadam gets delayed by half an hour, sometimes 1 hour. Isn't it? So why not? How many of you have given vivas or something in the college and your prasadam got delayed? 1 o'clock prasadam may begin in the youth center and you reached at 1:30, 1:45, sometimes 2. Sometimes you have to skip also. So the viva goes on. And you cannot tell that, sir, I am going for prasad. I will fail you in the exam. You cannot give excuses like that. You have to adjust. So why can't we little bit delay? And then after few days we'll feel, every day, every meal is getting delayed by 20 minutes. Prasadam becomes cold. I want hot prasad. I think much before meal, I should better read 1 hour so that I don't have to delay my meals. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I will get hot prasad. So afterwards, When prasadam is attacked, then we are ready to do anything and everything. Some people say, I am at least distributing Prabhupada books, helping him to maintain the moment. So this is not enough. That is good that you are distributing Prabhupada books. But you will not be able to remain in ISKCON for a long time through this kind of just distributing books. That's what I said morning, that 1986 when they were compiling Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, they found more than 4,000 disciples of Srila Prabhupada have left ISKCON. Such a terrible thing. And then only those 1,000 people, then they are interviewed. You read whole Lilamrit and you see, count the number of devotees who have been interviewed there. They are very less. Radha Maharaj is there, Gopalkrishna Maharaj, Jayaprada Maharaj. Because 4,000 plus devotees had left ISKCON. So much. Some people say complacency. I feel lazy to read Prabhupada books. Because you are crazy in passion. And you are lazy in ignorance. You should be busy in goodness. And then you can read. It is said that if you want any service to be done, any task to be done, give it to a busy person. He will definitely do it. Lazy fellow is, oh, I don't have time. What is it time for? Sleeping only. And other crazy fellow in passion, oh, I have so many other things to do. Busy person, one who is in the mode of goodness. You tell him, he say, I have 5 things to do. This is 6th thing, I will do it. Don't worry. Some others say, unaware of the importance of regular reading. As we said, drop by drop makes into an ocean. So like that, daily reading, eventually you will become a big scholar if you read daily. It may not be realized immediately. Eventually you will realize it. Like you see, I quote many shlokas. So how is it like that? Daily or weekly learning at least 1 or 2 shlokas. So then what happens? Okay, it looks like, last 7 days only 1 shloka was learned. But after 1 year you will say 52 shlokas were learned in 52 weeks of the year. After 10 years you will say, I have learned 520 shlokas. And if you quote 520 shlokas, the audience will be like, oh my God, this Prabhu is reservoir of shlokas. He is coming from shloka loka. Like that. So immediately you cannot feel, eventually you feel. So the solutions, ways to read Srila Prabhupada books. Control time I already said, 15 minutes before every meal. Then find out a reading partner. Form groups. How many of you have formed groups and you read in groups? No. Okay, 1 or 2. How many of you have reading partners? So 2 ways of reading, having reading partner. We come together, 2 of us, myself and 1 more. Then we read from the same book. He reads 1 paragraph, I read, or he reads 1 page, I read another page. That is one style. Another style is we come together, but we read our own books. This is not very effective. Best is to discuss, study, read together. Then the attention is more and grasping is more. But okay, no problem. Because let's say I am reading teachings of Lord Kapila. You have already read it. So you are not happy to read with me. So, and you are reading Bhagavad Gita, which I already read. So then you read your book, I read my book. But we come together in one room or something. And then we read. Then it helps. Sange Shakti Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga we derive strength from association. So, just like all of us come together for chanting. But it's not like, I hear you chant. And then after some time, you chant 8 rounds, I hear. Then I chant 8 rounds, you hear. No. You chant your rounds, 16 rounds, I chant my 16 rounds, and hear. But we are together and chanting. We can say, anyway, I have to chant and I have to hear myself. So, okay, you sit in your room, I sit in my room. No. Then we'll sleep in the rooms. But when we come together and chant our own selves, then concentration is more and inspiration is more. Associate Srila Prabhupada by mindfully reading his books is one solution. Discuss. Tell devotees, what I read. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, one audio clip I made. If you want to hear audio clips of Radhanath Swami Maharaj, more than 200 plus, you can go to tinyurl.com/Guruvani. TinyURL I think is very famous. tinyurl.com/Guruvani. Guruvani. And these are very powerful audio clips. Not because I made it. I was just instrumental. Maharaj has spoken so powerfully. When I heard it, I got a lot of time. I heard hundreds of lectures of Maharaj. in 2019, 2020, 2021. When I was undergoing one treatment, I had a lot of time. Only 45 minutes of morning program I was attending, and whole day was into treatment and lot of things. So during that I could not read proper books, I could not chant so much, but I could hear many lectures. And some parts of the lectures were so powerful, I felt I must hear this in later part of my life. But how will I remember which lecture, which part? So much photographic memory is not there. So I started making audio clips. And 50-60 were made. I was so inspired. I shared with one or two devotee friends. And they said, Prabhu, this is amazing. Please upload this on internet. I said, uploading? I don't know. They said, you don't worry. You give us, we'll upload. So they only uploaded. It's tinyurl.com/Guru. I think 200 plus are definitely there. Maybe 300 are there. Himanshu Prabhu helps nowadays, I think. Our Likit Prabhu is also helping. So they are very powerful. You will like to hear the same audio clip. Some clips you can keep hearing 10 times, 15 times, 20, 30, 40, 50. You will never get tired. Amazing it is. One thing is about Prabhupada. Maharaj reads from the beginning diary, I think. Or he speaks from that diary. The diary is so moving. Prabhupada struggle for first 7-8 months of being in America. Jaladuta was written when he was on board Jaladuta ship. But after he got down till ISKCON's foundation was led. So for that period, not for all period, but some months of that, Prabhupada has written the beginning diary. How many of you have read that diary? It's very nice. You can read it. So Maharaj has spoken on Prabhupada's appearance day or disappearance day. Some part of it. So touching. Powerful. So one of the solutions is make your own index while reading Prabhupada books. If you see in Prabhupada books, Bhagavatam, so the title, the name of the chapter is there, and below that there are subtitles. For these 3-4 pages, some theme. These 3-4 pages, another theme. Then 2-3 pages, this theme. So this is little broader way. You can go in depth. You can make page-wise indexing. You can do paragraph-wise indexing. If you see backside of Bhagavatam, etc., you will find very detailed, minutest indexing. How many of you see? Like Krishna, the Supreme Person Godhead. And within that, my God, on page number 20, in page number 29, page number 32, what all is there about Krishna, the Supreme Person Godhead. So you can make paragraph-wise. Paragraph-wise is not there in that. Theme-wise is there and all that. So you can make, so that will help you. You will be very, here reading with concentration. Oh, this all lines I have to read very carefully because I have to, all these 10-15 lines I have to summarize in 4-5 words. You are going to index, no? Do indexing. Krishna, the supreme enjoyer. Only 4 words. So you have to be very attentive in reading. Then we can make the best, shortest audio, also shortest index. Indexing. Practice following a thread. You can see that there is some particular theme that is happening in those Bhagavatam purports. For 3-4 pages, the same theme continues. So that will also help. Learn one book well and regularly give it out. Some book which you feel like, read it regularly and then give it out, distribute. I read Perfection of Yoga book 7 times till now. So I carry that book. It is there in this bag also. And I distribute this the most because I like it very much. And it will be because you like it, relish it, so distribution becomes easy also. When you are distributing not only the words, your conviction matters. When you have read that book so many times, 5 times, 6 times, 7, 8, 10 times. So while distributing, it gives tremendous inspiration to yourself as well as others who receive. Study selected sections, notable prayers, chapters, etc. This is some devotees do that way also. That is also fine. Though better is to read all the pages of all the books of Prabhupada. There is a group of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu that is called a Chad group. Chapter a day. Chad. C-H-A-D. So every day those devotees, there are thousands of devotees from all over the world. They are part of this free this thing. So those devotees read every day one chapter. Some of them read only verses of a particular chapter. Let's say Bhagavad first chapter. There are how many? 43, 46, 47 verses. So they will just read Sanskrit 47 verses. So their chapter a day is over. Some devotees, they are better with translation. So they did all the 47 translations of this 47 sloka. Only translation. Their one day chapter reading is over. Some devotees feel both are required. So they read sloka also, recite sloka as well as translation. And 47, so their chapter is over. So this is chat group. This is Bhagavad Gita, like that Bhagavatam and whatever you want to read, one chapter you have to read. And there is another thing called as be a sage, page by page. One page you keep reading daily or whatever. Then you will be a sage. Be a sage, page by page. So within that there is one. I have it here. But basically that talks about few very important books of Srila Prabhupada, and in every day how many pages of that book you read, then in how many days you will complete that book. You can also do yourself this analysis, but they have done it. If you want, you can just refer to that. I have it here. Yeah, so let's say first book they have written Sri Ishopnishad. If you daily read 5 pages of Sri Ishopnishad book, in 1 month the book will be over. Sri Ishopnishad book. If you read 1.7 pages daily, in 3 months you will cover Sri Ishopnishad book. If you read 1 page daily, in 6 months the book will be covered. This is small book, but let's say then Krishna book, 24 pages you read every day. 1 month you will cover it up. 1 month Krishna book is over, daily 24 pages. 8 pages you read daily. How many months? 4 months. Sorry, 3 months. And then 4 pages you read daily. 6 months. 2.5 pages daily. 9 months. Then nectar of devotion. 13.5 pages daily. This is literally just count the pages, and 6 months mean half of 364, whatever it is. So that way they have done. So Bhagavatam is most important. If you daily read 503 pages in 1 month, entire Bhagavatam you sorry 503 pages, mar jaunga main. It will take 28 hours from 24 hours. No, what it is, you may not read the sloka in Sanskrit, you may not read sloka in English transliteration. You may read only the translation purport. Done. Okay, this is too much for you. 168 pages daily you read. In 3 months, your Bhagavatam entire 12 cantos, 18 volumes over. In just 3 months. 84 pages daily, 6 months it will take. 56 pages daily, 9 months. 41 pages daily. This is somewhat good. 1 year you will complete. Entire. I took 5.5 years. That means how many pages I must have read? Something like 8 pages daily. Average and daily. 21 pages daily. In 2 years you will read entire Srimad Bhagavatam. 14 pages daily you will read in 3 years. And 10 pages around 10 and a half, 4 years. And 8 pages daily, 5 years. So I think I did, it was not so regular, but 5.5 years means 8. Similarly Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is very nice. Be a sage, page by page. Thus we can help ourselves to become better at it. We can pray to the personalities who appear in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, the chapters also, if you see the 4th chapter of 1st canto, the chapter is the appearance of Shri Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is going to appear, and the scene is set. Vyasdev sitting on the bank of Saraswati river in his ashram at Badrik ashram. He wrote Vedic literatures and he's thinking, I am not happy, I am despondent. What went wrong? Maybe that I described too much of Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. I did not sufficiently directly pointed out the name, fame, qualities, pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Maybe this is the reason. And then he thought about his spiritual master Narad Muni, and then comes Narad Muni. At the end of the chapter he comes. Similarly, 19th chapter is the appearance of Shukadev Goswami. He appears. For 18 chapters he is not there only. Other things are only happening. No mention of Shukadev Goswami. Then he comes. So they are appearing. Parikshit Maharaj appears there. Prahlad Maharaj appears. Narsimhadev appears. So we can pray to these personalities. Create your own sacred space. Not secret. sacred. Make very nice room arrangement, nice photos, maybe Bhagavata Shlokas, Bhagavatam Shlokas. So it is very sanctified atmosphere, very inspiring atmosphere for reading Prabhupada books. That you can do. As per for good quality reading, though a small quantity. So do quality reading. Some devotees prefer quality reading. Some people prefer quantity reading. Whatever helps you. Break different or long sections into small parts. Like Prachini Bharit's story is there in 5 chapters, in 4 chapters. So you can divide it into small parts. Develop your routine. Get practiced automatically. Some routine you have to. Fix your time also. Fix your place, sacred place. Fix your time. So that you repeat it very nicely. Repetition is the mother of learning. Repeat it to others. You will learn the subject matter thoroughly. So these are some important points about reading Prabhupada books effectively. Effectively will automatically happen. As I said, drop by drop makes into ocean. In the beginning, when first drop you put, doesn't appear anywhere comparison in close to pond also. 2 days are over, some drops slowly. It doesn't look like a pond also. But 20 days later, it will appear something. 200 days later, it will look like something more. 2000 days later, it will be like something. 20,000 days later, it will be literally like a pond. 2 lakhs days later, like the 20-30 years later, it will be ocean. It took time, but it will definitely happen. So, daily reading is very important. Any question? No, like.
You mentioned that devotee, like during the chanting time, like we take during initiation commitment to chanting 16 rounds, but unconsciously we were not able to chant exactly the 16 rounds because some mantra or get missed. Like, is it, Guru Avtar, like we are not able to follow it?
Yeah, in one sense, yes. But we are conditioned souls, and he knows that. Despite that, he has accepted. So he knows we will be sleeping in Japan all that. But it is our responsibility that we try to chant 16 good rounds. So when we sit for chanting, before we begin also, we can tell the devotees in that circle, Prabhu on your left side, Prabhu on your right side. Prabhu, please wake me up if you find me sleeping. If you are sincere, you will pray, request them, and after they wake you up, you will stand up. That posture in which you are sitting and sleeping, that is the best posture for you to sleep, not to chant. You have proved it already. So you have to break that posture. You have to stand up or sit on your knees and heels. What is it called? Vajrasana, I think. Vajrasana. The way Parikshit Maharaj is sitting, it is shown. So you sit like that. Some people say, devotee doctor told me, when the buttocks are below and knees are above, you tend to sleep. Like this Sukhasana and all that. But when you sit in Vajrasana, buttocks go up and knees touch the ground. You will not sleep. That's what he said. But it works. I have seen that. If I am feeling sleepy in Japan, if I sit in Vajrasana, the sleep is not there. Our best is to stand up. Any other?
You told about quality reading and quantity reading. So should we balance both?
Your choice, bro. You read somehow. Whatever you want, quantity reading, quality reading, but read and repeat it. Then whether quantity reading is better or quality reading is better, you will come to know through repeating. If you read a lot, then maybe you are able to repeat a lot. Or too much reading but hardly anything is getting repeated because quality is missed out. So then better you do quality reading. Less reading but quality reading. And then you are able to repeat more. So you can see which helps you. It may depend on section also. Like third canto, creation and all that. Even if you try for quality reading, nothing is understood. In quantity reading there is satisfaction. Somehow quickly I went through the section and even nothing was going inside my head. So it depends what is going on in the section. Yes. What more? Any other?
Not regarding this topic.
Why not about this topic? Questions first.
Yes.
Should we make notes on the book itself or?
But not on the script. The blank space is there above, left side, right side, below. That is okay. Or between the purport of previous shloka and shloka, that is okay. And also preferably it should be with pencil, not with pen. Because 10 years later, 20 years later, when you see your pen written, ball pen written things, notes, you may feel, oh, this is too primitive. Now I know these things, I want to erase but I can't erase. Because it is written with ball pen. But if it is pencil, you can erase it. Highlighter is okay on the lines. But pen, writing, scratching over the statements or writing there only on the top of it is not good. That will become offense. But the blank space is there. Some people, the devotees put that, what, paste it, I think. Stick it. That is also okay. But only thing, sometimes it, many stick it, it becomes little bulky. Binding may face little difficulty. Some devotees use notebook. Your choice.
Even I used to write, but one devotee told me like Bhakti Maharaj told him that if Krishna himself, so we should not write upon Krishna.
Write not on the script. You know the Arjuna Acharya story. When he read Yogakshema Mahamya, I provide what you lack and I preserve what you have. So he thought, how can Krishna will do this? Krishna has so many agencies. Parasya Shakti will get it done through his agencies, not him personally. So he scratched it. So he scratched it. You know the story. Krishna Balram came in the form of two boys. No? So he went out for begging because he was a Grihastha Brahman. He went for begging. Somehow that day he did not get anything. But meanwhile, in his house, two children came, one black and one white. And his wife was attracted. Who are the children? Yeah, she asked. He said, we are disciples of your husband. Disciples? My husband never told me that he accepted disciples. By the way, what is this? Today, your husband, our Guru Maharaj, got a lot of dakshina, lot of gifts, this charity. So it was very heavy and he told us to carry. And we said, Guru Maharaj, it is too difficult for us to carry. But then he was very angry. He bet us, see on the back, he has beaten us and said, you have to carry, you are my disciples. So we were forced, so we carried it here. Now please take it, we will go, otherwise when he comes, he will again beat us. She said, what? How dare of him? He will not be able to beat you. Don't worry, you come inside. You also take prasad. They said, no. She said, no, don't worry, I am there. So she was cooking and they were in the room. After some time, when husband came, knocked the door, she found they both were gone. And when husband came, she said, what is this? You accepted disciples, you never told me. And the husband was looking, what happened? And then, and you bet your disciples? They so such a small tender children and you made them carry such heavy thing. He said, what nonsense you are speaking? I never heard it. Then she told all the description. Which children came, how did they look like, what all things they brought. And then he went then he caught her hand, took her inside the room and said, my dear wife, see, morning I read this Yogakshema Mahamyam. I thought, how will Krishna do it personally? He will get it done through some agents of him. But to prove to me that for Krishna personally does it, you see, Krishna and Balram personally came. That black boy was Krishna and white boy was Balram. You were very fortunate. You saw them both personally. And because I scratched on these words, Yogakshem Mahamyam, these words are non-different from Krishna. So that's why the marks, beating marks came on the backs of Krishna and Balram. So on the text, if you write anything, it will become offensive. But highlighting is not a problem. So above and all, not a problem. That is blank margin, huh?
Underlining of the text is...
Oh, that is okay. But on the text, you cannot highlight. Is okay, highlighter, because that makes the thing. In fact, it becomes very prominent. Anybody opens your book, which is highlighted line, people will tend to read that line first. They'll think this must be very important, and they can read it very clearly. But if you put a pencil on the line, people will not be able to read, and that becomes offense also. but the margin and all is okay. But as I said, don't write with pencil. Don't write with pen. Years later, you will feel bad. Oh, I did a mistake. Any other? Here is one question, I think. Generally, we are asking. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, if we are not preaching so much and not repeating what we read, then what we should do? Tell your wife, is married person. You can tell them. At least husband and wife are together in the house. Repeat to wife. And anyway, husband is guru for wife. So guru should teach to disciple. So husband can tell at least wife. Wife can tell husband. Both of them can tell to children, or to parents, or to neighbors. Somebody who should preach. In fact, Mahaprabhu has ordered us, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna. Anybody you see, meet, you must preach to him. At least our neighbors, our own family members, we should preach. Simple points, small things, whatever you have read. Any other? Should we end if there is no question?
Can you please narrate the story of parents of Tirumala?
That you read. No problem. We have movie on Balaji, Pune temple last year. Had it. Watch that movie. 2 hours or something. It's a long story. Basically, when Bhrugu Muni tested, Lakshmi became very angry. She left that place. She came down Mahalakshmi Kolhapur. And that time Lord comes in getting her back. He comes as Venkatesh. And there is Padmavati and all that. They get married. For that loan is taken from Kuber. Which, so no problem. You find out somewhere else. Any other?
Is it possible, can you share your orders of same books?
We have that book, encyclopedia, devotional encyclopedia. In that the same order we conducted exam, you can do that. Otherwise, there is nothing like order for you all in one sense, because you all are hearing classes. In the classes, you get to hear from all varieties of places. I have quoted some shlokas from Chaitanya Bhagavat to you all, from Bhagavatam. So, and you know philosophy, physics. Sorry, there is nothing so much not to worry about order and all that. But basically small books first, then medium, then big, then not big. No need of worrying about order and all that. Any other? We'll end then. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Books ki, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Something more Mataji has written. If we can write something important in point in whatever we read, that is what we understand from that point. But how can we know exact meaning behind that? Ask some devotee. Anytime confusion in life, we always have so many devotees around us. Nowadays through phone calls, text, or SMS, email, or call. You can or meet devotees personally. Ask them. I did not understand this point. How to? In my college days, second year of engineering, when I would read books in the daytime, I had some questions. I would not understand some part. So I would underline out somewhere, mark it. And evening, my counselor, who was final year computer science engineer student, he would come from his college and I would say, Prabhu, I have read something I have not understood. Please explain. What does this mean? I would read the line. Then he would tell, oh, this means this. Then I would be very clear. Because he was senior, he was well read. It would be helpful. I read it three times I could not understand. But when he told, similarly when I read Nectar of Devotion, first section, second section I started reading, 28th chapter, 24, and it was bouncing on my head. I was understanding what happened. Same book, same author. Why am I not understanding? Evening when I asked him, or after 2-3 days I asked him, he said, oh, that is not for you. Only first section of 19 chapters. These other 3 sections are very high. You will understand them, but not now. after some years of practicing Krishna consciousness. So then I gave up those remaining chapters, several chapters. I read only up to 22, 23. And some years later, 7, 8 years, 10 years later, then I started reading whole book, and then I could understand. Then also not fully, but to great extent. Yes.
Like now many devotees are reading within ISKCON also, like Ramayana they used to read. In one of the purport I read that Prabhupada was telling something about Tulsidas.
That we don't have to get into controversies and all that. Why to read? First, we should read Prabhupada book. Have you read all the books of Srila Prabhupada? Then why to get into like our owner here below? What he has cooked for his dinner today? Why should we worry? What is going to come in our plate? You just take prasad. We'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Next one. I'd like to thank you for inspiring us with words and good examples of Prabhu. A lot of taste for reading Prabhupada
But nowadays I read some other books. Narada Samhita, Krishna Nikamuni. But I teach Prabhupada books.
and we also explain like how Prabhupada disciples make their priority to read Prabhupada books. So we should also try to take something from his classes and make commitments on reading Prabhupada books. We would like to thank Prabhuji by 3 times loudly chanting.
So please read Prabhupada books.